Hello students, welcome to the channel. In this video, we'll solve the math calculator section of SAT practice test 9. So let's begin. Question 1, what value of x satisfies the equation 3x plus 3 is 27? So 3x plus 3 is 27. So 3x is 24. So x would be 8. 2 units of length used in ancient Egypt were cubits and palms, where 1 cubit is equivalent to 7 palms. The Great Sphinx statue in Giza is approximately 140 cubits long. Which of the following best approximates the length in palms of a Great Sphinx statue? So 1 cubit is 7 palms. So 140 cubits would be 140 into 7 palms. 7 into 4, 28, carry 2, 980 palms. If 2n by 5 is 10, what is the value of 2n minus 1? So 2n by 5 is 10. So 2n is 50. So 2n minus 1 is 49. Which of the following values of x is not a solution to the equation above? So that would have to be the negative value, because square root of minus 4 squared would be square root of 16, and that would be taken as plus 4, right? So it would not be negative 4. So the negative value is not a solution. Okay, in an experiment, a heated cup of coffee is removed from a heat source, and the cup of coffee is then left in a room that is kept at a constant temperature. The graph above shows the temperature in degrees Fahrenheit of the coffee immediately after being removed from the heat source and at 10-minute intervals thereafter. Of the following, which best approximates the temperature of the coffee when it is first removed from the heat source? So when it is first removed from the heat source, the temperature of the coffee is very close to 200 degrees, so 195. And during which of the following 10-minute intervals does the temperature of the coffee decrease at the greatest average rate? So you can see that the graph goes like this. So the greatest increase is in the beginning, and then the decrease lowers, and then finally it almost becomes horizontal. So the greatest decrease would be between 0 and 10 minutes, option A. In the figure above, AD intersects BE at C. If x is 100, what is the value of y? Okay, so if x is 100, then this angle would be 60, because the sum of these three angles has to be 180. If this is 60, then this is also 60, vertically opposite angles. And so y would be 80, because again, the sum of these three angles has to be 180. So y is 80. The line graphed in the XY plane below models the total cost in dollars for a cab ride Y in a certain city during non-peak hours based on the number of miles traveled X. According to the graph, what is the cost for each additional mile traveled of a cab ride? Okay, so for each additional mile traveled, the cost would be the slope of this line. So let's find the slope. This point is 0, 3, and this point is 1, 5. So the slope would be 5 minus 3 by 1 minus 0, which is 2. So for each additional mile traveled, the cost is $2. Okay, on Tuesday, a local gas station had 135 customers. The table above summarizes whether or not the customers on Tuesday purchased gasoline, a beverage, both, or neither. Based on the data, what is the probability that a gas station customer selected at random on that day did not purchase gasoline? Okay, so we are taking a gas station customer, so the denominator will be 135. Did not, so gasoline not purchased was a total of 50, right? So 50 by 135, which is option D. Washington High School randomly selected freshmen, sophomore, junior, and senior students for a survey about potential changes to next year's schedule. Of students selected for the survey, one-fourth were freshmen, one-third were sophomores, half of the remaining students were juniors. If 336 students were selected, how many were seniors? Okay, so one-fourth were freshmen, one-third were sophomores, and half of the remaining were junior. So what is one-fourth plus one-third? That's 7 by 12. So remaining is 5 by 12, and half of those were juniors. So juniors is 1 by 2 into 5 by 12. So that's 5 by 24, right? So then how many seniors? So 7 by 12 plus 5 by 24 is all students minus seniors, right? So that would be 7 by 12 plus 5 by 24. So that's 12 into 2, 24, 2 into 7, 14 plus 5, 19. So 19 by 24 is other students. So seniors would be 5 by 24, right? So seniors is 5 by 24 and total was 336. So 5 by 24 into 336. So 12 into 2, 12 into 2, 24. 12 sevens are 84, 12 eights are 96, 2 into 14. So 70 seniors. Plant A is currently 20 centimeters tall and plant B is currently 12. The ratio of the heights of plant A to plant B is equal to the ratio of the heights of plant C to plant D. If plant C is 54, what is the height of plant D? Okay, so A to B, so 20 by 12 is C to D. So 54 by X. Okay, so 4 5s are 20 and 4 3s are 12. So right, so X would be 54 into 3 by 5, which is 4 into 3, 12, carry 1, 162 by 5, which is 5 3s are 15, 12, 5 2s are 10, 20, 32.5. Isn't it 32.5? No, 5 into 420, sorry, 32.4. Okay. Biologists found a new species of pale shrimp at the world's deepest undersea vent, the Beep Vent Field. The vent is 3.1 miles below the sea surface. Approximately how many kilometers below the surface is the vent? Okay, so 3.1 miles divided by 0.6214, right? That would be the number of kilometers. So let's plug that in. We have 3.1 divided by 0.6214. So that's 4.98. So that's nearly 5 kilometers. A cargo helicopter delivers only 100-pound and 120-pound packages. For each delivery trip, the helicopter must carry at least 10 packages and the total weight can be at most 1100 pounds. What is the maximum number of 1200-pound packets that the helicopter can carry? Okay, so let's say 100-pound is light and 120-pound is heavy. So it must carry at least 10 packages. So light plus heavy should be greater than equal to 10. And the weight, so that would be 100 light plus 120 heavy can be at most. So this should be less than equal to 1100. So what is the maximum number of 120 pound? Okay, so L plus H is greater than equal to 10. So if this is L and this is H, then that would be this region. Okay, and the second one is 10L plus 12H is less than equal to 110. So this would also be something like this, and that would be less than, so this area. Okay, so the solution set would be this area, right? So the maximum number of 120-pound packages would be the intersection of the two. So let's just solve them simultaneously. L plus H is 10 and 10L plus 12H is 110. Okay, so we have to solve for H. So let's multiply this one by 10. So 10L plus 10H is 100. So 2H is 10. So H is 5. Maximum number of 120-pound packages is 5. A company purchased a machine valued at $120,000. The value of the machine depreciates by the same amount each year, so that after 10 years, the value will be 30,000. Which of the following equations gives the value of the machine t years after it was purchased? Okay, so it depreciates from 120,000. So my y-intercept is 120,000. And over 10 years, the value will be 30,000. Okay, so how much does it depreciate? So let's say this is 10 and this is going to be 10 comma 30,000. So it depreciates per year by 120 minus 30, which is 90,000 by minus 10. So that is minus 9,000, right? So it depreciates by 9,000 per year. So the value after t years would be 120,000 minus 9,000 t. So that's option B. Line M in the xy plane contains the point 2, 4 and 0, 1. Which of the following is an equation of line M? Okay, so the slope is 4 minus 1, 3 by 2 minus 0, 2. And the y-intercept is 1 because it passes through 0, 1. So y is mx plus c. So 3 by 2x plus 1. Option D. In the expression above, a is a constant. If the expression is equivalent to bx, where b is a constant, what is the value of b? Okay. So 4x plus 4 times ax minus 1 minus x squared plus 4 is bx. So 4ax squared minus 4x plus 4ax minus 4 minus x squared plus 4 is bx. So 4a minus 1x squared plus 4a minus 4x, and minus 4 and plus 4 cancels, is bx. Okay, so if we equate the like coefficients, then there is no x squared term on the right. So 4a minus 1 is 0. So a is 1 by 4. And b is 4a minus 4. So that's 4 into 1 by 4, 1 minus 4. So b is negative 3. If 2w plus 4t is 14 and 4w plus 5t is 25, what is the value of 2w plus 3t? Okay, so 2w plus 4t is 14 and 4w plus 5t is 25. And I want to find 2w plus 3t. So let me try and add these. 6w plus 9t is 39. So if I take 3 common, 2w plus 3t is 39. So 2w plus 3t is 39 by 3. So that will be 13. Okay. Jennifer bought a box of crunchy grain cereal. The nutrition facts on the box state that a serving size of the cereal is 3/4 cup and provides 210 calories. 50 of which are calories from fat. In addition, each serving of the cereal provides 180 milligrams of potassium, which is 5% of the daily allowance for adults. Okay. If P% of an adult's daily allowance for potassium is provided by X servings of crunchy grain cereal per day, which of the following expresses P in terms of X? Okay, so one serving gives you 5% of the daily allowance, right? So X servings will give you 5% times X, and that is equal to P% of an adult's allowance. So P will be 5X, option B. On Tuesday, Jennifer will mix crunchy grain cereal with super grain cereal for her breakfast. Super grain cereal provides 240 calories per cup. If the total number of calories in 1 cup of Jennifer's mixture is 270, how much super grain cereal is in 1 cup of the mixture? Okay, so 1 cup of super grain provides 240 calories. And what about crunchy? 3/4 cup of crunchy grain provides 210. So 1 cup of crunchy grain provides 210 into 4 by 3. So that's 70 to 80, right? Now she has mixed them up in some ratio. So let's say that she has taken, there is 1 cup, right? Okay, so let's say she has taken X parts of super grain, X super grain, and Y crunchy grain, right? So, and the final mixture, the calories is 270. Okay, so 240X plus 280Y should be 270 times X plus Y, right? So that becomes 240X plus 280Y is 270X plus 270Y. So 10Y is 30X. So Y is 3X. So the amount of crunchy grain is 3 times the amount of super grain. So how much super grain? Super grain would be X by X plus Y. So X by 4X. So that would be 1:4. 1/4 of a cup is super grain. Which of the following could be the graph of the number of calories from fat in crunchy grain cereal as a function of the number of 3/4 cup servings of the cereal? Okay, so each 3/4 cup has 210 calories. So this would be a linear rising curve. And obviously it would start from the origin, because if you have 0 cups, then there are 0 calories for fat. So A. The graph of the exponential function h in the xy plane, where y is equal to hx, has a y-intercept of d, where d is a positive constant. Which of the following could define the function h? Okay, so we have to choose an exponential function, so it can't be b, and it's not c, because neither of them is exponential. Now between a and d, it has to have a y-intercept of d. Okay, so the y-intercept here is -3, and the y-intercept here is d. Yeah, so D is the answer. The weights in pounds for 15 horses in a stable were reported, and the mean, median, range, and standard deviation were found. The horse with the lowest reported weight was found to actually weigh 10 pounds less than its reported weight. What value remains unchanged if the 4 values are reported using the correct weight? Okay, so there are 15 horses, right? So the median will be the 8th value when you put the values in ascending order. So if the lowest weight was actually 10 pounds less, then the lowest value just goes 10 pounds less, right? So it's still the first value. So the median will not change. B, the mean will change because the sum of the values will change. The range will change because the lowest value has changed. And standard deviation would change because the deviation from the mean would change since the lowest value has changed. So B would not change. Near the end of a US cable news show, the host invited viewers to respond to a poll on the show's website that asked, do you support the new federal policy discussed during the show? At the end of the show, the host reported that 28% responded yes and 70% no. Which of the following best explains why the results are unlikely to represent the sentiments of the population of the US? The percentages do not add up to 100%, so any conclusion is invalid. Those who responded to the poll were not a random sample of the population of the US. There were not 50% yes and 50% no responses. The show did not allow viewers enough time to respond to the poll. So it's B, right? Because this is only viewers of the cable news show. And even then, it is viewers who went to the show's website and responded. So this is a very select group. It's not random at all. So therefore, the results of the poll are not valid. It's not a random group. The percentages do not need to add up to 100. There could be people who are undecided, so it's not A. It's not necessary for the votes to be evenly split, so it's not C. And yeah, this is not relevant because there is no mention of how much time was allowed. So B. If fx is 5x square minus 3 and fx plus a is this, what is the value of a? Okay, so fx plus a would be 5 times x plus a whole squared minus 3. So that's 5x squared plus 10ax plus 5a squared minus 3. And that is equal to 5x squared plus 30x plus 42. So if we compare the like coefficients, then 10a should be 30. So a would be 3. If sin x is a, which of the following must be true? If sin x is a, then cos 90 minus x is also a, right? This is an identity for acute angles. Let's say this is x, then this would be 90 minus x. So if sin x is a, then it would be opposite over hypotenuse. And cos 90 minus x would also be a because that would be base over hypotenuse for this angle. So cos 90 minus x is also a. The quadratic function above models the height above the ground in feet of a projectile x seconds after it had been launched vertically. If y is equal to hx is graphed in the xy plane, which of the following represents the real life meaning of the positive x-intercept of the graph? Okay, so this is an inverted parabola where this is the height and this is the time in seconds. So the positive x-intercept is this point. So this is the time that it takes for the projectile to hit the ground, right? So the time at which the projectile hits the ground, option D. In the xy plane, the graph of the polynomial function f crosses the x-axis at exactly 2 points, a, 0 and b, 0, where a and b are both positive. Which of the following could define f? Okay, so it crosses it at exactly 2 points. So that would be a parabola at a, 0 and b, 0, both a and b positive. So these are the x-intercepts. So the equation would be x minus a times x minus b. So option A. If y is equal to 3x squared plus 6x plus 2 is graphed in the xy plane, which of the following characteristics of the graph is displayed as a constant or coefficient in this equation? So when you put x as 0, y is 2, right? So the y-intercept is shown here as a constant. So that's the y-intercept, C. Okay, the scatter plot above shows the federal mandated minimum wage every 10 years between 1940 and 2010. A line of best fit is shown and its equation is given. What does the line of best fit predict about the increase in the minimum wage over the 70-year period? Okay, so every year since 1940, the slope is 0.096. So every year between 1940 and 2010, the average increase in the minimum wage was $0.096. Yeah, so option A is correct. Every year between these two, the average increase in the minimum wage was 0.49. No, that's not correct. Negative 0.49 is the y-intercept. Every 10 years between these, the average increase in minimum wage was 0.096. No, that's not correct. The slope is applicable every year. Change in the y value for a unit change in the x value. And every 10 years, the increase in minimum wage was this. So this is also wrong. So the best answer is A. Okay, the scatter plot above shows a company's ice cream sales in dollars and the high temperature in Celsius on 12 different days. A line of best fit for the data is shown. Which of the following could be an equation of the line of best fit? Okay, so this is a interesting question because if you bring this line here, it seems that the y-intercept is 402. But that's misleading because this line is not the y-axis, right? Because the value of x here is 10. The y-axis will be here somewhere where the value of x is 0. So the line will actually go all the way to the left, and this point will be the real y-intercept. So I don't think A or B could be the answer. Let's work with the slope because that will... Oh, actually, the slope is the same in these two options. So the slope should be 33. So then I can just work with one point. Which point should I work with? Let me work with this point, right? So this point is 14, about 550. So then I need to find the correct y-intercept. So I can say D is 33t plus C. So if I put D as 550 is 33 into 14 plus C. This is 14. So that C would be 550 minus 14 into 3, 42, carry 4. 42 plus 4, 46. So C is 10 minus 2, 8. 14 minus 6 is also 8. Yeah, so my value of C is 88, which is obviously closer to 84. So D should be the equation. Okay. In the xy plane above, the circle has a center h comma k and radius 10. What is the value of k? Right. So let me join this. So this is 10 and the value of k, right? Okay. So this is, yeah, so this is from 4 to 20. So that would be a total length of the chord is 16. And this perpendicular will bisect. So this would be 8, right? Yes, 16 by 2. So by Pythagoras theorem, this would be 6. So the value of k would be 6. Okay. In the xy plane, line L has a y-intercept of negative 13 and is perpendicular to the line with this equation. If the point 10 comma b is on line L, what is the value of b? Okay, so the y-intercept is negative 13. So C is negative 13 and the slope will be 3 by 2. Because the line is perpendicular to this line has a slope of negative 2 by 3. So the negative reciprocal of that 3 by 2 will be the slope. So my equation becomes 3 by 2x minus 13. Now 10 comma b is on the line. So b is 3 by 2 into 10 minus 13. So 2 into 5. So 15 minus 13 is 2. So B is 2. Human blood can be classified into 4 common blood types, A, B, AB, and O. It is also characterized by the presence or absence of the rhesus factor. The table above shows the distribution of blood type and rhesus factor for a group of people. If one of these people who is rhesus negative, okay, so we are looking at this row, rhesus negative is chosen at random, the probability that the person has blood type B, okay, is 1 by 9. What is the value of X? Okay, so the total number of rhesus negative were 7 plus 2, 9 plus 1, 10, 10 plus X. And blood type B was 2. So 2 by 10 plus X is 1 by 9. So 9 into 2, 18 is 10 plus X. So X would be 8. Okay, based on the graph above, in how many of the games played did the soccer team score goals equal to the median number of goals for the 29 games? In how many of the games, right? Okay, so let's first find number of goals scored. Okay, so let's just find the total number of goals first. So 8 into 1 is 8. 9 into 2 is 18. 6 into 3 is 18. 3 into 4 is 12. 2 into 5 is 10. And 1 into 7 is 7. So that's total of 18 plus 18, 36. 36 plus 8 is 44. 54, 56, 56, 66, and 7. 66 plus 7 is 73 goals. So if they scored a total of 73 goals, the median would be 73 plus 1 by 2, which is 74 by 2. 2 into 3, 37th value, right? So 37th value happens where 18 plus 8, 26. Yeah, so 37th value happens here. So that means that median number of goals would be 3, and they scored that in 6 games. So in how many games? 6. Okay. Gisela would owe 15,500 in taxes each year if she were not eligible for any tax deductions. This year, she is eligible for tax deductions that reduce the amount of taxes she owes by 2,325. If these tax deductions reduce the taxes she owes this year by D%, what is the value of D? Okay, see, she would owe this much without deductions, and with deductions, this goes down by this much. Okay, so then I just have to find 2,325 by 15,500 into 100. So that would be 2,325 by 155. Let's just plug that in. 2,325 divided by 155. So 15%. Okay. The system of equations above has no solutions. If A and B are constants, what is the value of A by B? So for no solutions, A1 by A2 and B1 by B2 should be equal, and that should not be equal to C1 by C2, where A1 and A2 are coefficients of X, B1 and B2 are coefficients of Y, and C1 and C2 are constants. So 3 by 4 by A should be minus 1 by 2 by minus B, and that should not be equal to 12 by 9. So let's work with these two. So 3 by 4A is 1 by 2B. So I have to find A by B, right? So A by B would be, so let's just cancel this. Yeah, so A by B would be 3 by 2. Okay. The table above shows the number of international tourist arrivals rounded to the nearest tenth of a million to the top 9 tourist destinations in both 2012 and 2013. Based on the information in the table, how much greater in millions was the median number of international arrivals to the top 9 tourist destinations in 2013 than the median number in 2012 to the nearest tenth of a million? Okay, so let's first find the median for 2012. So I'll put them in, the median for the 9 would be the fifth value. So let me put them in ascending order. So this was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, this is the fifth value. So this is the median for 2012. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, this is the median. So the difference is 47.7 minus 46.4, which is 1.3. The number of international tourist arrivals in Russia in 2012 was 13.5% greater than in 2011. Number of international tourist arrivals in Russia was k million more in 2012 than in 2011. What is the value of k to the nearest integer? Okay, so let's say in 2011 it was x, then 1.135x is in Russia 24.7. So x is 24.7 divided by 1.135. 0.7 divided by 1.135. So that's 21.8. So what is the difference? That would be 2.9, right? So k would be 2.9. That's the difference between 2012 and 2011. Okay, so that was the calculator section of test 9. Let's grade it. Question 1. Calculator BDBAD, BDBAD, 6ACADD, ACADD, okay, 11, ADCBD, ADCBD, 16, BCBBA, BCBBA, okay, 21, DBBCC, DBBCC, 26, DACAD, DACAD. Okay, so 30 is D, 31, 6289. 31 is 628. Okay, this 34 is 9. So we look at this again. Okay, 35, 15, 3 by 2, 1.33. 15, 3 by 2, 1.3 and 3. K million, oh, nearest integer, right? Okay, you have to be really careful with gradient questions, and you have to round them up or round them down depending on what the question states. Right, okay, so 38 is 3. What happened here? I'm supposed to find the 29 games, how many of the games did the soccer team score goals equal to the median number of goals for the 29 games? Okay. What about if I don't work with goals, but I work with games, right? So for 29 games, the median would be the 15th value, right? So are they saying that I look at not these numbers, but I look at, let's say, 8, 9, 6, 3, 2, and 1. I'm supposed to look at those. And for these games, the 15th value would obviously be 2. So the number of goals scored, the median becomes 2. And so in 9 games, you get 2. Is that how they are approaching it? But am I not supposed to find the median number of goals by actually taking the total number of goals? Because if I multiply the number of games I with the number of goals, I'll get the total number of goals, and then the median has to be calculated. Yeah, so I don't know. This seems a little tricky, but I feel that we should work with the total number of goals, not games. Okay, so this was a useful exercise, especially with regard to question 38, where the need to read the question carefully is very important. So make sure you do that. Let me know if this exercise helped. I'll see you guys in a new video soon. Take care. Bye-bye.